Okay, now can you hear me? Hello?
Number 3.
You can hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Okay, good. Yeah, so what happened there was you came through and you were coming through my car speakers instead of through my AirPods. So I basically went to switch over the AirPods. And when I switched over, it went to my AirPods, but then it started a separate call. So I could hear your voice and ringing going on at the same time. So I went to cancel out the second call and then everything just broke.
Seems like everything's working like the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, and I actually this time what I did was I let anybody that could possibly call me. I let them know that I was doing a podcast after work because the episode that went live today, actually, the retro review episode 3.
Yeah.
I went to record that one, and pretty much everybody that I've ever known called me while I was trying to record that episode. So that episode is literally segmented into 4 parts, and one of the parts is only like a minute and a half because like I got started and the phone call came through, and it's a good thing that they like whenever a call comes through, it automatically kind of cuts the episode there because
Yeah.
you would have gotten some cussing from me after the third or the fourth call. I was so mad.
I can imagine.
I'm pretty sure on the last one I came back and I was like, I'm not even popular.
Except for when I'm trying to record an episode.
Yeah, so like this time, like I made sure like I texted a few people and I was like, hey, I'm gonna be doing a podcast. Please don't call me. I will let you know when I'm done.
Not the other way around, please.
Yeah, for real. So what you been up to, buddy? It's been a while since we've been able to do a podcast together.
Yeah. Well, as I told you, I basically got my gallbladder removed. Been kind of chilling, playing a couple games here and there. I went through all the Castlevania I could get my hands on, except for the 3D ones.
Yeah, which is you're kind of underselling yourself. You beat most of those games in like a day because I was going through my work day and you're like, all right, Castlevania Adventure's done, and then like I felt like it was like 30 minutes later, Castlevania Belmont's Revenge done. And I was like, Jesus Christ!
To be fair, those games were very short.
Yeah, and I don't know what kind of gaming god you are because I tried the Game Boy ones today, and after a little bit, I was like, you know what? Even with the cheat codes, there's a parts of those games where like I just physically like it hurt my head. Like I think it was Castlevania Adventures, maybe, but there's
Yeah.
a part where you have to. It's basically like 30 feet of just jumping from these little bitty platforms to another little bitty platform. And I just could, even with infinite health turn on, I could not do it. And I think it was the first Game Boy one, which is Castlevania Adventure. I think that was the first one.
Yeah.
That game is so unbelievably slow that I went down the list of cheat codes I could do, and there was a cheat code that basically doubles the speed of the game, and it was still too slow. But yeah,
oh man.
So that is actually something. Before we go too much further, we are planning on doing the next big video game reviews. We're going to start talking about some Castlevania games. But we also, and this is actually something I'm going to pull up in the Discord a little bit later. But we're going to be starting an Avenged Sevenfold series where the first episode is going to be basically Leo and I introducing other 2 people on the podcast are going to be with us, and basically we're going to talk about what albums we're going to be reviewing in the series, and just like a little intro. But we might have a schedule conflict on Wednesday that I'm not sure about, so we might be recording that on Thursday or Friday instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we are going to be doing the final episode for a while of the Resident Evil review. So we're going to be talking about 2 remake, 3 remake, and then Village and the DLCs. And then unless they come out and just shock us and finally fix Operation Raccoon City on PC, The next episode of the Resident Evil review is going to be separate ways
Yeah,
because
probably. I don't see them fixing that game very soon.
yeah. And by the way, I cannot believe they did not announce that at the Capcom showcase.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they had a Capcom showcase for about a week ago,
Yeah.
and they went through so many things, and the only thing Resident Evil 4 remake related was the basically them saying, "Oh yeah, VR still coming. Bye."
Yeah, that sounds like what I was expecting to happen.
I remember I follow this guy on Twitter, and he basically like when those things go live, he's basically live tweeting, and as it was going on, like the more tweets that came in, I was like, this could have been an email, and by the end of it, I was like, this could have been a tweet. I mean, there was just nothing really cool showcased in the showcase at all,
That's kind of sad. That's
and
not very. That's not kind of sad. That's very sad, actually.
and surprisingly, I used to be like a big Xbox fan, but like in the past few years, it's just been like a lot of stumbles with like these little surprises that come out every now and then. But everybody's saying that the Xbox showcase was incredible, and then I went back and ow, I got a splinter. I checked it out, and I mean Xbox really knocked it out of the park, and then Capcom, who's been on a roll lately, just sucked.
I'm hoping that it's a thing that like maybe they're doing kind of bad on that sense, but otherwise they're just gonna like knock it out of the park with everything else like they've been doing.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that's the deal. But by the way, speaking of Capcom, last night I thought that I was going to get Emily to play, but I still have not finished that game. I need to go back and finish it. Uh, but like she was looking at the screenshots on the Xbox page, and she's like, I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe. And she went to watch the trailer, and she's like, nope, don't like the gameplay. And I was like, don't like the gameplay.
God damn.
Yeah, so not gonna get her on the Devil May Cry train anytime soon, but I do have it on Steam. I just have, and it is. I'm pretty sure it's Steam Deck verified. I just need time to play it, but we've been kind of talking in the Discord chat, and I've been playing so much Diablo 4, and Final Fantasy 16 comes out this week, and what else am I playing right now? Cyberpunk 2077, which I don't know. Have you played that game?
I don't. It's in my wish list. I remember like it had a lot of problems at release, so I was kind of hoping to wait for a little bit, just like for it to like get fixed up, and then we'll go through it.
Well, I can tell you that the tech on from a technical standpoint, I'm playing on a Steam Deck, which is already not the best hardware, and this game runs great. It runs very well, and I mean the story is really good so far. But what really got to me was I was creating my character, and you're doing all the normal character creation stuff, and
Yeah.
then just out of nowhere, there's a penis in my face. It's like, how big your penis? How big does your penis want to be? And I was like, I don't know. And then like you can create how big the size of your character's penis is, and as you move the slider to the right, it's just getting bigger or smaller depending on which way you're going.
And I'm guessing you put it as small as possible, right?
Well, yeah, here's the thing. I thought about making it small just so my character would be humble, but then I was like, you know what? He's got a masculine voice. He needs to have the matching penis.
Oh my god. Too much pride, my friend. Too much pride.
Yeah, but you know what? That makes his character much more endearing at the end because he learned something.
He learned something.
Yeah, he learned how to overcome his pride.
He learned the meaning of friendship.
Yeah, the heart of the cards.
Oh god damn it.
So I'm going to try to keep us on track this time. So
Oh yeah, we need to keep this in track.
yeah, but the last time we talked about Tratini for 30 minutes.
It was worth it.
So I'm going to go ahead and start with you. What are your thoughts on Resident Evil 2 remake?
I really enjoyed it. and I thought it was really well made. I actually did feel like I felt very tense the whole time playing. And I will admit, I suck at that game. I still have like 5 playthroughs left because I need to do
Oh,
all
just
the
5.
S ranks and shit, and I need to do the like few steps. No use it, don't use the inventory, stuff like that.
Yeah, I will not be doing any of that. I I actually got all of. I think I have all of the main Resident Evil games on Steam since I got the Steam Deck, and I went to replay Resident Evil 2 remake because, like we've talked about this a lot on this podcast, but the RE engine is just this master of optimization,
Oh yeah,
and Resident Evil 2 remake runs incredibly on Steam Deck. So I went to try it again, and I pretty quickly it's such a tense game that it took me back to 2019 when 2 remake came out. I think that's right. Yeah, because 3 remake almost didn't come out because it came out in 2020 and everybody was mad that they put out a virus game when the COVID was going around.
yeah.
But yeah, 2019, I got it on my Xbox, and I remember what I would do is for a while now, Xbox has been easily, like, out of the 2 consoles, it's been the most portable one, and
Yeah.
I would it was I was doing my other podcast, Here We Are SWLA, and I would take the Xbox with me wherever I would go, and I would hook it up, and I would always have to wait for my co-host or whoever was going to be on the podcast that day. So I would plug it in, and I would play it, and by the time I got to I almost said Mr. T, but Mr. X. When
I mean,
when
Mr.
he,
T, Mr. X, same thing.
yeah, I mean, same thing. They're just as scary. Uh, when
But
I
just as
got to,
powerful.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I think Mr. T. I think you take on Mr. X. But when I got to that part of the game, I remember telling my co-host, "It's like I love this game. I think it's the best game that's going to come out this year. I don't want to play this game anymore." And
I mean, it is incredibly tense.
yeah, and like especially because is okay. So it's Claire that you once you leave the police station for good, you don't see him anymore. Like, that's right for Claire, isn't it?
When you leave the police station, you don't see what anymore, Mr.
You
X?
don't. Yeah, in Claire's campaign, after you leave the police station for good, you don't see Mr. X again.
You do see him because as you're going down the elevator, he tries to stop it. Just yeah, I think it's like in the orphanage. When she start trying to go down the elevator, Mr. X appears. He starts trying to open it, and then Birkin comes in and kills him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But like, it's not like Leon's campaign where he comes back and he's like a threat again.
I don't think so. I don't remember if he actually like in the part at the on the underground facility he shows up as well, the same as Leon.
Yeah, but because I remember, you know, getting through Claire's campaign, and after you get from that underground facility, pretty much. Okay, let me just rephrase that. When Mr. X is in the picture, the game's not as intense anymore. It feels like you can move around and stuff. And there was actually a point where, for some reason, I haven't played Resident Evil 2 remake since I beat it in 2019. So when I was replaying it, I got to the part where you put the 3 emblems in and you go underground and all that. And I was like, man, I am so good that I got through this game without triggering Mr. X somehow. I am so good. And then you messaged me like, no, you actually are about to go back and get him. I was like, damn it. And I got back, and that was pretty quickly after unlocking Mr. X. I kind of stopped playing the game again.
A little stressful.
It's very stressful, and don't get me wrong. Again, Resident Evil 2 remake is one of the best. Not only is it one of the best Resident Evil games, it's one of the best survival horror games I think I could think of. But
I feel it's actually. I feel like it has all the tension from like feeling powerless that RE4 remake does not have, because RE4 you feel powerful.
Oh yeah, and there's so many videos of people just doing these cool action sequences where they're just going through, taking out rooms full of enemies.
Yeah.
Uh, and we're gonna talk about this later. They're just two. They're both incredible Resident Evil games, but they play completely differently.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's just because the Leon and Claire in Resident Evil 2. I mean, they're not trained. Leon's a rookie cop, and Claire's, she's just some girl that knows how to shoot a gun.
Yeah, basically, that's why I feel it's like so well done about it. Like, cause RE2 Leon, RE4 Leon are not the same person at
Oh, no,
all.
no, 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 not at all. And it's it, and it's strange because Resident Evil 2 remake, I remember being okay. So like before doing this series, I did not play the original RE2 and RE3, and thinking about it now, knowing about the cheats that you can use in emulators, allegedly, that I did not know about before. I'm thinking about going back to Resident Evil 3 and like just putting on like an infinite health code or something. That way I can get through the rest of that game, because just a little bit, we're going to go ahead and segue into RE3 remake a little bit. But just going off of the little bit of RE3 that I played, I do kind of see why people were a little irritated at the remake of 3. But at the same time, well, not but at the same time, and at the same time, they love Resident Evil 2 remake, because playing the remake and the original, the OG2, they didn't really change a whole lot there. They kept, I would say, a good massive chunk of that game. And if you like, I would have to really think of something that they actually changed, other than maybe like item locations or puzzles or something like that.
Yeah. No, I feel like my big issue with RE3 remake is that I know, like, I watched a lot of videos about like the OG RE3, but it does feel like they left a lot of stuff out. It feels way too short for like what for like all like everything's supposed to be there. I feel the beginning was strong. Nemesis, I feel, was badly overused. I mean, underused.
Okay, I was about to say, I didn't feel like
Yeah,
he was in the game, and especially going back to the original part, the original RE3 that I played, just a little bit of. I couldn't get away from that big dude, and like, I mean, I felt like no matter where I was going, Nemesis was right on my tail.
yeah,
And I mean, Nemesis just felt like, okay, so Nemesis and Resident Evil 3 remake just felt like an occasional boss fight that we'd have to deal with. Whereas
not even that. It felt like an occasional speed bump because you could, like, a lot of people like have talked about this, but yeah, just a single grenade and you can take him out. It's like not difficult at all.
And the thing is, that's really disappointing, because I remember, for Here We Are, I did. I think you can actually still find it on YouTube. But I played the demo for Resident Evil 3 remake, and I was very high on it, because the demo was there. There was a part of the demo where you're going through, you're just killing zombies and stuff like that, and then there's part of the demo where Nemesis is after you, and Nemesis was so promising in that demo, because I mean, he was way faster than you are. First of all, he
Yeah,
could zip around. He could kind of zip around the map, and he felt like he was going to be a much bigger problem than he actually was in the remake.
yeah,
Um, but that being said, there are still like some really parts of Resident Evil 3 remake that make me wish that the games were combined in some way. Uh, I know that probably would not have worked, and
yeah,
especially I think that was a rumor for a while, that internally Capcom was going to initially pair those two together in some kind of. It was going to be called some like Resident Evil, the Raccoon City Collection or something like that.
yeah,
Uh, but I mean, like the hospital sequence where you're playing as Carlos, that was really good. Like I really
yeah.
liked that part. Uh, and there are some parts like the part from the demo I was talking about where you're having to run away from Nemesis to get to that out to the end of the demo. Like that, those parts are good. But like you said, the game is short. And comparison, Resident Evil 2 remake had okay. So Resident Evil 2 remake, the campaigns individually were just slightly longer than what Resident Evil 3's remake was, but there were two of them. So you had double that content there, and then you had all the extra modes like the fourth survivor and all that.
Yeah. Also, I just want to add, I feel like a lot of more shit happens in 2 that makes it feel longer compared to 3, because 3 feels like nothing happens.
Yeah, and the thing that I think makes it feel that way is because Resident Evil 2 is a horror game, period. And it's you're going through the police station very slowly because you don't know. If I open this door, there could be like 3 clickers, or there could be Mr. X, or there could be a bunch of zombies.
I think you want to say lickers, not clickers.
Oh, yep, I did. My bad.
Very different game.
I made that mistake a lot whenever I was watching the Last of Us HBO show. By the way, did you watch that? Just real quick.
No.
Oh my god. Is HBO? This is gonna sound like an ignorant question, but do y'all have HBO down there?
I mean, I can get it. I just I have other stuff I want to watch. Like I've watched, so hell, I don't.
Dude.
I'm paying for 3 subscription services, and I don't even watch them.
Dude, you probably have to get a VPN. I don't know how HBO works, but if you ever wanted to watch Last of Us, hit me up and I'll use my password for a little bit because that shit, best video game adaptation. I'll say it right now.
I'm glad to hear that because let's just face it, video game adaptations have been sucking for years.
Well, I mean, quick tangent. We'll get back. I promise. They've been getting better. I haven't seen Sonic, but I've heard people like both of the movies, the Mario movie.
I like the Sonic movie. I watched the first one, and other than the fact that it's okay, I still kind of miss more the game world of it, but fine, sure. I heard Mario did really good. Sonic 2 did very good.
I took my 2 boys to see the Mario movie, and they didn't really have as much of a touchstone to Mario as I did. And they were kind of by the end of it, they're like, how much more of the movie's left? And I was like, do you not see what's going on the screen right now? Do you not see Rainbow Road?
Yeah, I heard that there's a lot of little callbacks for people who.
Oh my god, it's insane! It's insane the amount of callbacks are in this movie. And I mean, you had to take the Pikachu, which again was a great movie.
Yeah, I was gonna mention it too. It's a movie that I felt did really good.
I actually made Emily watch that a year or 2 ago because as we go through our relationship, every now and then we're like, yeah, this movie, and I'm sure you've seen it, and she's like, actually, I haven't seen this because I thought Pokemon, and I just didn't know I was gonna like it. And I was like, well, sit down and buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to watch this movie. And you know what? Yeah. She enjoyed it.
Yeah, like I said, from what I've heard about it, it's really. From what I've seen of it, it's really good. I have my issues because, well, I'm a hardcore Pokemon fan. Was playing games for years, but yeah.
Honestly, the only video game adaptation that I've really been let down by lately are the Resident Evil ones, which I just think we're destined to not get another good adaptation for a while. The first 2 or 3 Wes Anderson movies were Wes Anderson or Paul Anderson. I can't remember which one.
I think it's Paul Anderson.
Paul Anderson. They were okay, but then all of the other ones were just guilty pleasure, crap movies that I like to watch with my friends.
Yeah.
And then Operation Raccoon City was just an abomination. And
you mean Welcome to Raccoon City?
Sorry. Yes, I do.
God damn it.
But yeah, that movie was so bad. I remember I watched it Emily had to go somewhere, and I said, like, I remember I tried to go watch it in theaters, but like I just never got the chance to. And Emily had to go somewhere one day, and I was texting her, like I was in kind of media blackout mode on this movie, so it's like I'm
Yeah.
so excited I'm finally getting to sit down and watch it. And then Emily got home, and I was just staring at a blank TV, and I was like, I've never been more upset.
That's yeah, because my ex girlfriend actually was talking to me about the movie. It's like, oh, like we really like Resident Evil. We should probably watch this when it comes out. I was like, oh, sure. We never watched it. Now I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah, it is. Oh, so you never watched it?
Oh no, I don't waste my time with shit I know it's bad.
Oh, you need to at least watch it just to see how bad it is.
Do
Because
I have
as
to?
bad as you think the original Resident Evil movies are, there is not a single one of them that is worse than this movie.
I mean, I don't think they're bad. Like I actually like I know I'm stupid, but I do kind of like the first two Resident Evil movies, the action ones.
Oh yeah, no, those are good. The first two are good, and then the third one is just one of those guilty pleasure movies for me. But then like all the other ones after that are just they're guilty pleasure movies too. But like I can admit that they are bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
okay, so going
let's
back
go
a little.
back to Resident Evil
Yeah, well, I mean, we were talking about Resident Evil. To be fair.
games.
Yeah, games. Okay, yeah, because we're running out of time here, so we need to move over into Village. Uh, so, J- Resident Evil Village. Talking about the DLC is actually how me and you got the idea for this podcast and doing it over
Yeah.
a Discord call in the car. So I'm gonna turn it over to you first. What are your thoughts of Village and the Shadows of Rose DLC?
Okay, Village. I hate the beginning sequence. I really hate it. I know that they tried to like remake Bingo, but they could not get the hang of it.
Uh huh.
Rest of the game, Lady D, and that was an amazing area, just in
Yes.
general.
Yes, it was.
Um, then oh, I forgot her name, but Puppet Girl, hell of a
Uh,
mindfuck, really well done.
was it Angie?
No, the doll's name was Angie.
Oh, the doll's name was. I don't remember the girl's name. Then.
It was like Donna or something.
I'm going to be 100% honest. I thought I was going to say it wasn't her name Angie. Like, Annie, actually. I was like, dang it.
Yeah. Then Moreau's
Moreau, yeah.
little thing was just starting to get a little boring, and by the time we got, and I felt the whole factory area was just a little too long for my liking.
Yeah. And okay, and I think that is a big problem with Village. Just to kind of piggyback off of what you were saying,
Yeah.
I did not have as big of a problem with the opening sequence. I actually kind of liked it. But I will agree with what you said. Lady D section was really good, and then you go to the dollhouse, which was my favorite part of the game, and the game never really picks up again after that. To the point where I'm pretty sure Resident Evil Village was Emily's first birthday gift for me. Like she got it for my birthday, and it was my first birthday with her. And what we would do is, it's not a co-op game, so we would sit in our room and we would turn on the Xbox, and she would watch me play it. And after the dollhouse section, she slowly got less and less interested, and so did I. To the point where by the time you get to the end, I was wanting the game to be over. And
Yeah.
and I felt the same way on the second time. I didn't play the game a second time until I got the Steam Deck and the Gold Edition was coming out. And again, I got to those parts. And I did on the second playthrough. I did not think that Morose was as bad, and I did not think the factory did not feel as long because I kind of knew where I
You
was
knew
going.
what to do.
Like, yeah, I kind of knew what was going on the second time around. But it's just something, and Resident Evil 7 had the same issue, and I'm pretty sure we talked about it. They start these games out so well, and then it's like they don't know how to keep the momentum going.
Yeah. It really does feel like it really does feel that way. Because I don't know. I found Morales section to be kind of boring in general.
Yeah, I mean, and you're not wrong. It wasn't the best section, and you know it's weird because I think I'm not even gonna guess his name. I'm gonna guess it wrong. Who's the bad guy with the hammer?
Which one?
The guy with the hammer with the sunglasses.
Oh yeah. Uncle Magneto. Okay, Uncle Magneto.
Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. Um, he I cool, but he just didn't have anything around it. Like his area just wasn't as cool as I wanted it to be. His boss fight wasn't as cool as I wanted it to be.
Oh god, his boss fight. Fuck me fighting that in like the hardest difficulty. Fuck that fight. Fuck it.
Yeah, see, Resident Evil Village was the first time that I thought about going through, slowly unlocking the guns with the infinite ammo, so I could go back in the harder difficulties. Like I thought about it, and then I started seeing people saying that his boss fight was very difficult, even with all the infinite ammo, because you're in a vehicle. And I was like, well, never mind then.
Yeah, trust me, it took me forever to get the hang because you had to get so good at blocking shit.
Yeah, that's just not me, man. Not me. Uh,
Dude,
but
I
yeah,
beat Sekiro. I'm good at countering shit, but god damn it, that was just not a good one.
what?
What?
It sounded like you needed to get good.
Oh, dude, I platinum Dark Souls 1, 2, 3. Well, Elden Ring I probably could have platinum, but I'm just playing with some friends, so I'm waiting to do the endings. I have everything else done.
Oh, well, it's not
I
good
beat
enough. I don't know what
Sekiro,
to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
Sekiro, Bloodborne. I platinum way too many games, like I did with the Castlevania collections.
Yeah, in one day. In one day.
You're like, well, it was more like 3 days, but still, it was funny.
It felt like one day because I literally asked you, it's like, all right, so tell me which games I need to play to catch up with you. And you sent me a book.
You're like, okay, these are all the ones I've beaten.
Yeah. Uh, so let's go ahead and finish it off with the Shadows of Rose DLC.
I liked it. But I felt it was too much reuse of like stuff.
Well, too much reuse stuff. It was a good 95% of reuse things, and I felt like the motivation for the entire campaign was just really weak. I felt like it
It
was kind
really
of
was.
dumb.
I mean,
It's like, hey,
I kind of understand it, but as like character wise, it just kind of felt a little boring.
yeah, when they announced this DLC, I wanted it to, I wanted it to go in detail of, some of the stuff that, they teased at the end of 8, where, they kind of teased that Ethan's alive at the end of 8, and they teased, that they have the whole thing where Chris is going to the BSAA headquarters, which is, now that's kind of the big, rumor that's going around for Resident Evil 9, but we
Yeah,
didn't know that at the time. So I was kind of expecting stuff like that, but this Matrix journey and going back through these areas, it's just it didn't do it for me. And the the whole thing where the Duke is the bad guy and the Lady D section it was cool, but it doesn't go anywhere.
it
Uh,
does not at all.
the the reimagined version of the castle, it's still cool. The castle's still cool, but it's especially I played this as soon as I was finished with Village. Like I finished Village and got straight into the DLC.
Yeah,
So I mean, it was literally the exact same with slightly retouched things. uh Fantastic, they knocked it out of the park again. That part
oh
was
yeah,
so good.
Dollhouse was good.
But
That's
then you
like
get,
as like anytime they try to make it like psychological, they do a really good job.
and honestly, I don't remember what were the other two lords. Were there areas in this the DLC again? I can't remember.
Uh, no, because afterwards you fight Evelyn, and then you go to, like way too deep into the dream, and you have to fight the I forgot the name of the bitch of the big bitch. The main
Miranda.
boss. Mother Miranda. There it is.
Which, by the way, screw that boss fight.
Oh, you remember what I warned you first, so you were in a better position than I was.
And keep in mind, I suck. So I play on the easiest difficulty, and I still had a lot of problems because that boss fight is it's not that it's a hard boss fight, it's that the game it's like they didn't properly test this boss fight because a lot of times you do what you're supposed to be doing, but the game doesn't register that. So the boss fight doesn't go through the necessary steps for you to damage her.
I think what I was more annoyed that is it was basically the same boss fight a season. I think that's what annoyed me the most.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because you like as I've told you, as I've said before, like a lot of times, I like to complete games. I like to like beat all like the challenges, 100%. It's like I know it's stupid, but it's like my badge of honor for gaming.
That's not stupid.
Yeah, I know, but god damn it, that was like I hate having to do like the same boss fight more than once, like which when it's just especially when it's supposed to be like brand new content, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, so we're actually out of time. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the final ranking for the Resident Evil reviews. 21,
At number 20, there's Gaiden. Number 19 is Survivor.
number 18 is Survivor 2. Number 17 is Umbrella Corp. Number 16 is Mercenaries 3D. Number 15 is the OG. Number 14 is OG Resident Evil. Number 13 is Zero. Number 12 is Code Veronica. Number 11 is the original Resident Evil 2. Number 10 is Resident Evil 6. Number 9 is Revelations. I don't have Revelations 2 on here. We're gonna have to. I'll address that in another episode.
Yeah.
So number 9 is Revelations 1. Number 8 is Resident Evil 1 remake. Number 7 is Resident Evil 5. Number 6 is Resident Evil 4 OG. Number 5 is Resident Evil Village. Number 4 is 3 remake. Number 3 is 7. Number 2 is 2 remake, and number 1 is 4 remake.
Man, I can't believe 4-1 overall.
Well,
I we're talking about that.
Was a really hard decision for me. Like and what did the decision for me is I could see myself replaying 4 remake over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
To be fair, 4 is like I feel it's the most replayable game in general of the game.
Oh yeah, for
like
sure.
The Resident Evil series. So I think that helped a lot.
Oh, it's for sure the most replayable because I mean there's so much stuff you could do with that. So with that, we'll come back whenever the next Resident Evil comes back with this. But until then, just be on the lookout for our other series. Like I said, we've got Avenged Sevenfold review coming up. We've got Castlevania reviews coming up, and because of summer schedules, there's going to be some retro reviews, woven in there in places. And that's it for now. Thanks for joining me, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for having me. It's always fun talking about all these games.
Oh yeah. See you next time.
See you next time, buddy.